Welcome to the Manifesting Millions podcast. I am your host, Rashida McFerrin, and today in the Rich Auntie Life series, we are talking about 3 steps to protect your peace and build boundaries that attract wealth. But before we get started, I want you to head over to Rashida.ai and grab your Manifesting Millions mindset guide, download that for free, and then come on back over here and spend at least 10 to 20 minutes with me talking about how to protect your boundaries and peace. So, some housekeeping stuff before we get started. We are preparing for our next launch. My team is going to be updating the information on my website and all of the details, the date, the times. I think we're going to do it over a 3-day time frame. I'm not sure how we're going to stack the days yet, but I will get back to you and let you know either through a blog post, a social media post, or an email to my newsletter. But please be on the lookout for that. We are relaunching. I'm excited about this because we really went all in on the rebrand for the Manifesting Millions Academy, which was formerly known as Pennies to Profits. I'm excited about the upgrade to the brand because truth be told, it is an upgrade. It's stepping up to the next level. So just wanted to let you know that. We are technically behind a week in episodes. Oh my life, y'all. I tried to record last week and it did not work. And there are a couple of other things that are just going on. And it's just, life be life. And so sometimes when life be life and like that, you just got to let life do what it do and step back and surrender and allow the natural process of the universe to take course, because there are things you can control and there are things you can't control. And I am learning how to let go of the things that I cannot control. That being said, let's jump in today's episode. We've been on this Rich Auntie Life series almost 3 months now, because technically we are almost through March. I'm just going to be honest about boundaries when it comes to all the things that have been going on in our lives. The first technically 75 to 80 days of this year have really kicked my ass, and I'm not sugarcoating anything. My father passed away on the last day of January. So we went into February dealing with the concept of loss and death and the emotional concept that comes with burying a parent and all of the things that are wrapped up in grief. I lost 2 business deals. Well, I didn't lose 2 business deals, but I lost one and had another one that was delayed. That were influxes of revenue that I had projected into my business and was sure that those deals were going to close because of the amount of faith that I had in the individuals, because I trusted them. And let me tell you something. I try not to be ruthless when it comes to being in business, but look, I don't care if it's family, it's friends. When it comes to business, you have to separate the boundaries of the two, your business from personal. And I don't care how long you've known someone, how much money they say they have. That's a whole other story for another day. And I feel like a lifetime at this point, because I really don't want to spend any energy on it. I've been working around money for the past it's 19 years in a week. One thing I know to be true about people who have money and people who don't. The people who have money have no need to sing it from the rooftops how much money they have and to talk about all the business dealings and whatever that they're doing and how they have all these professionals, attorneys and accountants and all these people in their pocket. Because truth be told, people with significant amounts of money usually find one trusted individual to work with that honestly refer them out to other people within their network so that their network is solid. So when people come to you talking about how much money they have and what they want you to do with them, and the fact that it would be paid, let me pause right there. The fact that it would be a paid engagement. I'm sorry, do you think I do stuff for free? Because I do not. I'm not even sure why that statement was interjected anywhere. Again, another story for another day. This episode, it was inspired by the things that have been transpiring in my life and in my business over the past, basically Q1, right? 90 days once March wraps up. People will try to minimize who you are, your accomplishments, where you've been, what you've done, and make you feel small when they don't have a significant self-concept of themselves. And when I'm looking back over the first business dealing, I was already hesitant about doing it because of some character issues that I had saw transpire with someone else that was close to me. I decided to go ahead because I wanted to give the opportunity for a second chance. Here's one thing that I know to be true about people. They do not change. And if they do change, that is something that is on the inside of them that they choose to do because that is a behavior that they want to alter for themselves for whatever benefit. And I know this, but I said, okay, because of the significance of the history with the relationship, because of the background of the relationship, we give this person an opportunity to step within my circle. I did that and regretted it. When I sent the invoice over, there was all this hemming and hawing. I'm country, y'all. My Tennessee comes out sometimes. A lot of times, to be honest with you nowadays, because I really don't care about code switching anymore because I don't really do it. Like, you're going to get all of Rashida, not just 1/4 of me in whatever environment that I'm in. Now, are there certain behaviors that are appropriate in one setting over another? Then yeah. There is no hemming and hawing when it comes to my invoice and the prices I charge for services rendered. That is the fee. There is no negotiation. You pay the fee or you get sued. That is where I'm at in my life right now, period. I've had so many situations where I have let things slide. I was new in my business. I'm not new to business, but I'm new in business in this role. But I've just reached a point in my life, like, I am just going to call a spade a spade. I'm going to have boundaries. You can call me a cold-hearted, insert the word that goes there if you want to. I do not care. And that goes for anybody that I'm dealing with. Or if there's a situation where you're asking people to invest in you, which means buy your product, they'll pay you lip service, but then they won't buy your product. So what is the exchange here? If I've been in this space with a person all this time, but yeah, when I ask you to show me the money, it's but. The people who want to use your services and believe in your product and your brand will do so. They will pay for your services with no question asked. That kind of leads into the 3 steps that I'm talking about today in regards to keeping your boundaries, because you just have to be a stickler with it. I don't know how else to say it. And it's really a thing of loving yourself enough to know that you're worth your value. And your business is worth the value that you created and put into it and what you are planning to offer to the marketplace. You just got to know your worth, period. It really comes down to that, and not let people compromise those boundaries. I don't care who they are. Like I said, family, friends, it doesn't matter. I literally do not care, period. If you want to be a part of my space and my circle, you pay for my services. If you want my expertise, that's it. It's end of story. That's because you know what? That's how I pay people. Honor the commitments that I make with others so that other people will honor the commitments that they make with me. It's like that's the circle of money. And when I have deals fall through, doesn't work out like I'm planning, that create some friction within my business because I wasn't planning it. But I had so much faith in the individual that I was working with at the time that I got blindsided. They were trying to play me. And they took advantage of the connection that they had with me. And I didn't see it coming because I had so much faith in that individual. It's unfortunate, but it's true. Anyway, make sure you define your boundaries with clarity with whoever you're dealing with. And make sure you communicate that very clearly, because there is nothing left for interpretation when you know my boundaries up front. Number 2, you want to communicate it with confidence. Do you hear the nonchalantness in my voice right now? I don't care. Like, the level of IBGAF in my temperament right now is unmatched. And so, like I said, I am professional in my business or dealings, but cross me and you will see the other side that's now attached to attorneys where I am sending people cease and desist for trying to steal my brand. These are the things that I've been dealing with in my business. It is opening up a side of me, number one. When you have your name on the line and it's your brand and you have to pay people and it's your business, it takes on a different meaning. The ownership of it becomes personal. Yeah, because it's your brand identity. It's your reputation. So you want to communicate with confidence. And I'm not saying be arrogant. You want to be very clear with confidence that these are the boundaries. This is what I'm willing to work within. And this is what I will not tolerate or deal with. There's no better way to say that. Number 3, you're going to have to protect your energy. You're going to have to learn to lock your schedule down. And people have been complaining about this for the last however many weeks to me. If I don't have time, actually, let me clarify that. It is not my job to be your counselor. It is not my job to be your big sister, your big cousin, your big friend, your big mentor. Like, it is not my job to validate your life. Let me tell you what is my job. My job as the CEO of the Manifesting Millions Academy, as the host of the Manifesting Millions podcast, is to show up every day for my business and make money. That is my responsibility. And you know why? It's my job and my responsibility because it's my job to take care of my people, to pay my people so they can be able to take care of their families and to show up for themselves and how they represent in life. That is my responsibility. It's my job to take care of my child. That's my priority. That is my responsibility. Anybody else, as far as familiar or family relationships is concerned, my responsibility is first to my child. And if you're clashing with that, if you haven't learned so far, I've been a mom for 16 years now. If you haven't noticed, he's priority. Always has been, always will be. You have a problem with that? That is your problem, not mine. I know you can hear the level of I don't give AF in my voice. It is unmatched. Because I've just reached a point in my life that I'm not going to let people siphon my energy and use it for their personal gain and then not give anything back. I am not going to let people take from me and not pour anything into me. I'm in a clipping season. The funny part about this is I am in a pruning season of cutting things off that are dead and letting them go. And the funny part about that, my circle is already small. I am super selective, have always been that way. So it's about to get real up in these streets. My priority is making revenue in my business so I can build a thriving company that's going to be around at least until I'm ready for it not to be around. You're going to have to learn to protect your energy if it's not on your schedule. If you pop up in my city and then expect me to drop everything that I'm doing just because you all of a sudden in my city, yeah, no, wrong answer. Maybe old Rashida would have tolerated that, but new Rashida needs notice at least 2 to 4 weeks in advance because I have a schedule. I have a life. And how narcissistic for you to think that I can just be free and drop everything I'm doing just because you popped up into my city. Really? Is that what we doing now? Because that's not what I'm doing. Your girl got stuff to do. Emphasis on running a company. I don't know why people think when you say you're an entrepreneur and you're running a company that you just sitting on the couch popping bonbons. I work more now than I ever did in a 9-to-5, literally. And the funny thing of what keeps coming up in my memory as I'm thinking about my grandfather, and my grandfather was a farmer, worked for himself. He dealt with real estate. He kind of stepped into the role because his father got sick and passed away. He was forced into that role because he really didn't have a choice. But what I remember from my grandfather was getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning and going out there to that field and not coming back until 9, 10, 11, almost 12 o'clock at night on a regular basis. literally from sun up to sundown to provide for us, his family. That is what I remember. And as I'm going through this now, it's like, yo, like so many memories are popping up from my childhood during that phase of from 4 to 17, those 13 years that my grandfather played a role in my life when my mom and my dad split until he passed away, giving me perspective on what really was going on from an adult perspective and how he was running a business and managing a family, grandkids, cousins. He had employees. Like he was responsible for so much. And I always say this on my grandfather's deathbed, he told my mother at the age of 74, he was just now learning how to make money, which means that he spent all of his life trying to figure out how to make it flow to him. My grandfather was born September 9th, 1922. And I always say, I wish he could see the level of elevation that happened with my life because of what he was to me. The long of it is protect your energy, keep a schedule. If it ain't on the schedule, you don't do it. If they didn't call your assistant to get it booked, don't you do it. I'm getting to the point now that I won't even be doing email anymore. I won't be screening leads. So especially for the real estate aspect of our business, when my real estate leads come in, I will have my assistant send them a form to fill out and add their approval before we even have a conversation. I was talking about this last year on TikTok that I stopped offering free consultations because people were literally wasting my time. In order for me to have a conversation with you about you buying a property, your pre-approval letter is required. You're not going to waste my time and talk about all these things you want and you ain't coming to the table making no money moves. So unless you're paying cash, hello? A pre-approval letter is required in order to even sit down and have a 15-minute conversation with me at this point. Because your girl just ain't got time for it no more. This is the Virgo in me. Structure, analytical. My steps have steps. I laugh at myself. I need to. I've gotten to a point that I'm not letting anybody waste my time. Unless you're talking to me about something you can do that is going to assist me and move my business forward. Like, what are we doing? What are we talking about? As I'm thinking back to all of these trainings and masterminds, and it's been a long 2 years, but a lot of it is starting to make so much sense now. And you see why some people have hit $100 million in their business and other people are still at the $20 million mark. There's a difference. It's called structure and systems. I used to think that in order for you to build $1 million brand, 7-figure business, 8-figure brand, that it had to be like this perfect creation and that it ran properly, which is that part, for the most part, is true to a degree. Nothing is perfect. But the concept of structure, systems, people in place, that part is true. I've watched people build 5, 10, and $20 million dollar brands over the last few years. And their stuff, their business is bootleg as I don't know what. And that's literally how they run it. It's whatever they feel like doing in the moment. And I get it. We're in this influencer society, the creator economy. It's all built around your brand and identity. But honey, put some structure and some systems in place so that when people come into your ecosphere, they're literally not seeing your disorganization and dysfunction. If I am paying, I'll give you an example. The Manifesting Millions Academy is $2,000 basically. $19.99 with the group coaching over a 4-week time frame. The self-paced course originally is $9.99. I am actually dropping that to $5.99. We will be updating pricing this week because I want it to be a little more flexible in regards to the barrier of entry, just to get the information into the people's hands. Say I offer a $99 masterclass that you can get through in 2 to 3 hours. My hope for offering that product is that you have a phenomenal experience in this masterclass and that you walk away feeling uplifted, valuable, and like you can take whatever information that I just shared with you and implement it immediately. My whole course of courses, I built all of them like that. When we rebuilt and rebranded our content at the end of last year, the goal is for you to be able to get through it quickly, to comprehend it quickly, and be able to implement. And if you have questions for the group accelerator, that's where me having the office hours for an hour, 1 to 2 times a week, come in. And you can bring your questions. Well, you can submit them to our inbox, and I get through as many questions as I can during that hour. And then for the ones that I don't get through, I work with my team and we get answers back to you through email. It just takes some time because, it's only a few of us and it's a lot of y'all. I approach every product like that, even the products I invest in for myself. If I can't come away implementing something and if I'm getting stuck in the process and then I'm now wondering why I spent my money on this, then that's an issue. And a lot of these video products, intellectual property is what it's called, are just trash. I hate to say it like that. It's true. I paid for a master class 2 or 3 years ago. We were supposed to have lifetime access to that product. I went back in the other day and tried to click the link on going back to that product for the 4 or 5 hours that it was, which is a terrible idea. You do not use a Saturday where people are off for the weekend to try to put them in a classroom on a computer. That is number one, insanity. Number two, not smart. And number three, that experience was so chaotic. I think I paid $125 for that masterclass. And I think I bought another like $60 product. That for me was enough for me to know that it wasn't worth the big investment to participate in that person's container because of how unorganized it was. The moral of the story in today's episode is you got to learn to put some structure in place around your life, around your energy, so that people are not stealing your energy. I call them energy vampires. That's what they are. They want to come to you, get a quick fix, and make them feel good about themselves and leave you feeling drained and unsupported. And now you got to go fill yourself back up because they taking all your energy. This version of Rashida is honestly probably about to be the most nonchalant IDGAF version of me I've ever known. And that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Grab your Manifesting Millions Guide freebie so you can get started on your millionaire journey and get on our newsletter where I send private information to my community that's not available to the public. And if you enjoyed what you listened to, leave a 5-star review, share it with a friend, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.